It is here, ladies and gentlemen. Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall is finally here, and it is happening this summer, 2025. Both of the heavyweight champions in the UFC are fighting each other, and afterwards there will only be one undisputed heavyweight champion of the world in the UFC, and it will be, we'll find out. But seriously, guys, this is crazy news. We've been waiting for over a year.
One eternity later.
For the two undisputed heavyweight champions, the best champions in the world, to finally fight, and so that we could have one champion in one organization, be the best heavyweight in the world, and there be no questions left unanswered. And after our beloved light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira lost to Magomed Ankalaev this weekend, there is no other option than for Jon Jones to fight Tom Aspinall for the UFC heavyweight championship. Alex Pereira versus Jon Jones is not happening, and Alex Pereira versus Tom Aspinall is not happening. If it's going to happen, it's going to be late this year or early next year, depending how Alex Pereira's career goes. But his fight against Magomed just shows to me and everybody else that he is not ready for Tom Aspinall nor Jon Jones. I think both those fighters beat Alex Pereira in less than 5 rounds. It does not go to a decision. I think they put him away on the ground. I think they're bigger and they're way more well-rounded than Poatan, and I just think that they get the fight done. Back to business. We got word from Dana White, and don't just take it from me, take it from him. I'll put the video right here.
And you were talking about Tom and Jon. Tom released that video blog a few days ago on the train where he was saying like Jon's side is holding up the fight. What is he referring to there?
Well, I think that, listen, Jon Jones definitely wants to fight. Just when and where is what we're working on now.
Do you feel confidence? I think you said Jon.
I'm very
confident
confident
on first
that fight happens. Yeah.
Summer.
Yeah.
And there it is. You heard it from the man himself, Dana White. Say what you want about him, but he's giving us some reliable news here. He said that Jon Jones does want to fight Tom Aspinall, and that it is going to happen this summer, 2025. We're going to see it go down. And that all it's depending on right now is just time and location. We're seeing exactly when and what venue it's going to be at. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the biggest fight of 2025. This is bigger than Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria. Not by a great margin, because those are both super fights. Everybody wants to see them, but this one's so overdue. Jon Jones arguably considered the GOAT by a lot of people. This is still going to be a massive fight. Biggest fight we've had since I don't know when. Probably since the last McGregor fight. And everybody around the world is going to be tuned in, waiting to see who will win, Jon Jones or Tom Aspinall. And if you guys haven't subscribed yet, we drop great high quality UFC videos 2 times a week. We're the biggest, fastest up and coming MMA YouTube channel. So if you want to join for the ride, I'd love to have you as we build this sick community. But now I'm going to get into Jon Jones or Tom Aspinall and who will be the heavyweight champion after this summer when we only have one. And all these stats come from UFCstats.com/bunch of letters, but we're going to look at Jon Jones' side first, and it's going to be brief. It's going to be quick because we all know who Jon Jones is. He might be the GOAT, might not be, depends who you ask, but you got just his resume fluttered with wins, no losses, got a no completion. Actually, he does have a DQ loss. We can't forget about that. But the Daniel Cormier win was ruled a NC, no contest after, little substance problems, but as if 90% of the fighters aren't on that anyways. We see here that he has a bunch of wins. However, he hasn't fought back since 2020, and since then he took 3 years off, but then beat Cyril Gane, who everybody thought was the best heavyweight at the time, over Tom Aspinall. And he beat him in the first round. He choked him out very early into the fight. And then he waits a year and a half and then fights Stipe Miocic, who many people considered as the heavyweight GOAT of all time. That holds weight, but it's not like he fought like a Khabib or a Makhachev. Like, Stipe is older and he wasn't that dominant. The heavyweight division isn't as good as a lot of other divisions. So he fought a great fighter, yes, but did he fight top tier GOAT? Not at all. And this guy was very old. Anyways, he did still get the win, and he looked very impressive at his age doing so. He got the fight done, and there were no parts in this fight where you thought Jon Jones was going to lose. He looked dominant the entire fight. He had his way with Stipe Miocic, and everybody knew he was going to win throughout the whole fight. But now what we really need to look at is Tom Aspinall. And ladies and gentlemen, this guy's career is not as long as Jon Jones, as not many fighters are, except Jim Miller. But anyways, he started fighting in 2020, and he has not lost a single fight except a Curtis Blades fight, which he got back. So he fought Curtis Blades, and he lost a KO TKO, but he had some weird leg injury during the fight, and he couldn't go on. Kind of like a Sean O'Malley type of thing. But since then, he beats Marcin Tybura, Sergey Pavlovich, and then he beat Curtis Blades again, which was crazy because he defended his interim championship while Jon Jones was still the champion. This makes no sense at all. However, very impressive resume. All these fights he's winning in round 1, and he has some serious names on here like Volkov, Spivak, Blades, Pavlovich, Tibera. These are all the best heavyweights in the world, barring maybe Jailton Almeida and Jon Jones. So as far as the heavyweight division, this guy has done almost all there is to do. He's got to beat Cyril Gane, Jon Jones, and Jailton Almeida, and after that he's basically cleared out this heavyweight division, barring anyone coming up like maybe a Kennedy or somebody else. But the point is, all these fights are in round 1, and they're normally within the first minute or two, and this guy is a very impressive fighter. He's big, he's fast, he's strong. He is by far, not by far because Daniel Cormier was a great opponent, but he is going to be Jon Jones' toughest match, maybe except Daniel Cormier, we'll see. But Jon Jones is older now, Tom Aspinall is a young up-and-comer, and he's looking dominant. This is going to be an insane test for Jon Jones, and if Jon Jones does beat Tom Aspinall and retains his title and retires, or maybe he beats Pereira, then he retires, because he would beat Pereira at this day and age. I think it's pretty undeniable that Jon Jones is going to be the GOAT, and it would be really hard to make a conversation and argument otherwise. But when we look into Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones, do we really think that Tom Aspinall will win, or do we think Jon Jones will win? You know, Jon Jones is 6 years older than Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall matches up with him size very well. He's only has a 3-inch shorter, less reach. No, sorry, 6-inch shorter, less reach. But that is fair because Jon Jones has one of the craziest, if not the craziest, reach in UFC history. Like, this guy has amazing genetics, which is one of the many things to help him be the fighter that he is today, and he's been throughout his career. But he is 6 years older. He is not in his prime anymore, although he still looks good. He's not in his prime. Tom Aspinall is just coming into his prime, and he's putting all these guys down in round 1. He definitely hits harder than Jon Jones, and he has good size, as does Jon Jones. I think that the ground game is pretty comparable. You could make an argument either way, but I would probably give it to Jon Jones based on his experience. And Jon Jones definitely has that experience factor over Tom Aspinall in this fight, which is important. Jon Jones knows every trick in the book. Tom Aspinall probably knows a lot, but Jon Jones has been fighting for over 10 years. This guy knows what he's doing in the ring. He knows how to win a fight because that's all he does. And this fight is going to be a close fight. I don't think it's going to be a blowout one way or another, barring a lucky punch from either side early on that just puts the other one out. But even if that happens, it's going to be a fluke most likely, unless they're getting pieced up. But the other thing we really have to bring in is Tom Aspinall's gas tank. And I'm not going to crap on it because I can't. Nobody can because nobody knows. This guy's fights do not leave the first round. They rarely do. This guy puts people out, and he puts people out quick. So we don't know how good his cardio is, right? We can imagine it's good. He seems like a good athlete, but we don't know. And I don't think anybody thinks that Tom Aspinall is really going to put Jon Jones out in the first round or two unless you're straight up just hating on Jon Jones or riding Tom Aspinall. I think it's probably going to be a third, fourth, or fifth round finish. If a finish, you could definitely see it go in the distance. And that is where it's unknown, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know how Tom Aspinall is going to look in those rounds. We've seen Jon Jones get through those rounds and win those fights before, as he's done every time. We have never seen Tom Aspinall really be challenged and put in those deep waters, so that is why this fight is really interesting, among a multitude of other reasons. But we really can't say for sure how Tom Aspinall is going to look in the late rounds, but we do know how Jon Jones looks, so it's going to be a very good fight that honestly could go either way. You guys let me know what you think down below. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to go Aspinall, but I know we got some Jones boys out there from my previous videos, so let me know who you guys got and tell me why. But with that being said, subscribe if you made it this far. You're awesome, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.